The following is a presentation of the HAN Network, the leader for local news, sports, and more in southwestern Connecticut.
Good evening and happy holidays, and welcome to the HAN Network's coverage of the 2016 Norwalk Holiday Tournament from Norwalk High School as we get ready for the championship game in this year's tournament, and it features the hometown Norwalk Bears and the hometown Brien McMahon Senators. Alongside Chris Cato, Kalen, I'm Frank Renito. And Cato, when we looked at the schedule for the tournament, this was the matchup we had just hoped and prayed would come to fruition, and here we are now with the crosstown rivals getting ready for not their only but first of two meetings this season.
And this is an all-Norwalk battle. Both teams, to get to this point, had to stage fourth quarter comebacks in both of their victories over the two teams we've previously seen, the Capital Prep and Joel Barlow. For both of these teams, they're very athletic, and I think if you're into action up in court, move the basketball, I think you're going to be in for a treat tonight.
It should be a lot of fun, and of course, let's go back to last night. This game originally scheduled for tomorrow evening, but because of the weather coming towards our area of the country, we've moved it forward. Last night, McMahon had the early game, so they were able to handle Joe Barlow with relative ease, a 61-47 victory. Good play, and they got it from their top scorers, Eric Day leading all scorers with 26 points. If the Senators are going to win this tournament, it will be on Day's shoulders.
And Day is one of those old school cut and slash to the basket. He's going to try to make things happen off the dribble. He can distribute. He will play heads up. He's not going to just put his head down and drive to the basket. He's going to look for those open guys. If you converge on him, he's going to find someone open, and that's where Brien McMahon is really dangerous.
They trailed 14-6 after the first quarter and then 25-22 at the half, but they're able to come together, and for the Senators, they felt a lot better in that second half. Coach Dunstan was much happier with the team's performance. On the other side of the bracket, Norwalk did not have as easy a road as they had to fight, scratch, and claw to come away with a 1-point victory against Capital Prep. They win 72-71. They trailed by 7 points with 90 seconds to go in the game and had been out of timeout since there were 4 minutes left in the game, Cato.
And it just goes to show you the kind of toughness that Norwalk can show at any given point in the game. For them to take over 7 points in 90 seconds, it's not an insurmountable lead to overcome, but with no timeouts, it makes it that much more difficult.
McMahon is 2-0 on the year. Norwalk 3-1. Their only loss coming against Fairfield Ward. I think for the Bears, if there's one player who could really give them an advantage, it's Peter Kotulski.
Well, the big man at 6'8", standing in the center, he likes to play around the rim. He's a guy who can work above the rim. He can get the rebounds. For Brien McMahon, your shooting has got to be precise, or you have to get hit. You have to use your offensive rotation to get him out on the wing so you can get offensive rebounds.
They don't have a player standing quite at 6'8", do the Senators, but this is a bigger team. They're thick, strong, and we expect them to get to the dirty areas, and they win 50-50 battles, Cato.
They will win 50-50 battles. Look to them and just look in the middle for the big man, Lewis Paul. He's a wide body. He's got a solid frame. He's not tall, but he has tremendous athletic ability. And the one thing about not Lewis Paul, I'm sorry, number 15 Lewis Paul. Saquon Williams. I got my numbers mixed up. I apologize. But Saquon Williams, he's a wide, solid body. He can clog up space in the post, and more importantly, he can run. For Brien McMahon, with him, you don't have to necessarily worry about him getting out around the perimeter to defend, because he can break off of that and he can finish.
They can run. That's what you mentioned right there. McMahon will have a speed advantage against Norwalk. It should be a lot of fun, a real fire and ice matchup, and always adding to that is this great rivalry between the Norwalk crosstown rivals. Let's step aside quickly. When we get back, we will have the starting lineups for both teams and the tip-off in the championship game of the 2016 Norwalk Holiday Classic. All that coming up next right here on the HAN Network.
On time, done right, safe and reliable. MrHandymanCT.com.
Let our satisfied customers tell it.
I have called Mr. Handyman for every reason, every occasion, every broken item, every leak. They have bailed me out on many occasions, and I would recommend them to anyone.
For any project, large or small.
MrHandymanCT.com.
The holidays are a wonderful time to spend with families and friends, sharing a fantastic meal. Football season is in full swing, the fishing has been unbelievable, and it's time to make a list and check it twice. Stop at the Dock Shop, get a fix of summer, and browse loads of new products, including fishing tackle, accessories, clothing, jewelry, and home decor. Boater, beach bum, fisherman, or simply love the New England coast, this is a unique place to shop. The Dock Shop, 51 Tokenique Road, Darien, 609 Riverside Avenue, Westport, or dockshop.com.
Manfredi New Canaan is a dream come true for locals Kim and Roberto. Their Elm Street store features Rolex, Hermes, and design jewelry collections from everyday classic gold to diamond jewelry. Manfredi offers a range of services from simple jewelry and watch repair to elegant jewelry design. Let Manfredi New Canaan help you find the perfect gift to celebrate important life moments. Visit us at 72 Elm Street, New Canaan, or online at manfredijewels.com.
Give your day a jumpstart with the latest news, sports, weather, and more on Coffee Break, live on the HAN Network, weekdays at 11 a.m. Connecticut news doesn't get any more local than on Coffee Break.
Back on the HAN Network with the 2016 Holiday Classic Championship here from Norwalk High School as we get set for tip-off. And let's run through the starting lineups first. For the visiting Senators, they will go with number 24, Eric Day, number 3, Matt St. Louis, number 23, Brendan Quinlan Huertas at the guard positions. Aaron McKeithen, number 21, and Latrell Stewart, number 1, will play the forward spots. For the home Bears, they'll have Kerry Alcina, number 3, number 10, Armani Sawyer, number 11, Tommy Benincasa, number 30, Connor Mastropietro, and number 33, Peter Katulski. It should be a lot of fun as we get set for the opening kickoff. The Bears are wearing the all-white uniforms. They will move from right to left on your screen. And rocking the all-blues are the Senators. As there are the final moment handshakes between the rivals. Before this one starts, Cato, for both teams, what kind of a start do they have to get out here to be successful?
For the most part, control tempo, play your game.
The ball ends up in the hands of Armani Sawyer, an errant pass, and it sails out of bounds and will go for the Senators. And we expect it to be very loud throughout the night. The gymnasium filling up almost at capacity, and we can see the line still stretching out the door. Day calling out signals. He wants Latrell Stewart to flash to the hole as Quinlan Huertas gets his first touch. Man-to-man defense to start for the Bears. As this one tipped, comes out. Stewart, pull-up 3 off the mark, and it finds the arms of Armani Sawyer now as the Bears look to run. We expect to see a lot of transition offense tonight, Cato. Both these teams will run when given the opportunity off rebounds and turnovers.
More importantly, watch McMahon. They're going to try to stretch the floor and make Norwalk come to them. Make the big man come out on the perimeter like where he is now. He's out at the top of the key to 3.
That's Peter Katulski to keep an eye on inside. He will be guarded tonight by Aaron McKeithen as a travel is called here on on Kerry Alcina. So the second turnover in as many possessions for the Bears. Going to the lane is Stewart, too strong on the layup, but able to come up with his own rebound that time. Inside, McKeithen too strong. Second effort, the tip, goes. And with 6:45 remaining in the first quarter, we have our first points of the night.
And McKeithen on those points, tremendous concentration, stayed with the basketball, stayed within himself, and was able to finish.
Another Bears possession and another turnover. They have 3 turnovers on 3 possessions so far tonight. Quinlan Huertas to the rack, draws the foul. He'll go to the line to shoot 2. That is the first foul against Katulski.
And just a great dribble drive, spotting the lane, spotting areas to move for Quinlan Huertas. Just tremendous hustle getting to the spot. Our officials for tonight's game, Eric Riley and Nicholas Brand.
In this afternoon's consolation matchup between Joe Barlow and Capital Prep, Barlow a runaway winner, 78-49. So they come in third, be the consolation match in this tournament, as Quinlan Huertas off on the first one short, and then rattles home the second attempt. So it is a 3-0 lead now for McMahon. 6:20 remaining. Championship game of the Norwalk Holiday Tournament. We thank you for tuning in to the HAN Network. Frank Renito alongside Chris Cato Kalin. Kevin Coleman is patrolling the sidelines tonight. He will join us shortly. 3-pointer from Kerry Alcina, in and out, and the rebound controlled by McKeithen. St. Louis pushing the tempo. Cross-court pass. Quinlan Huertas for 3, no good. The tip on the rebound, no good. And then Mastro Pietro able to control. As the Bears come back, scoreless through the first 2:15. 3-pointer now from well behind the line as Tommy Benincasa gets the Bears on the board, the first 3-pointer of the night.
Benincasa hitting from the NBA 3.
3-3 the score. As Day is going to pull up and look to respond, nothing but net. He rips off the bottom of it. It is 6-3 in favor of the Senators. Again, Eric Day went off in the opening round, 26 points to lead all scorers in the tournament, 10 of those coming in the fourth quarter of that game.
Eric Day not afraid to take his shot if you give him the space.
Inside, and the touch off the left hand, well done. Katulski able to pick up his first points.
The big fella puts it off the glass.
As Day goes to the rack, high off the glass. McKeithen the board, too strong. It's bobbled around and rolls out of play as we get set for our first sub of the evening, as Zaire Sellers will check in for the Bears. He'll spell Mastro Pietro. St. Louis looking inbound, swings to the corner. The Senators set up again and will slow it down. 8-minute quarters played here in high school. There is no shot clock in effect either. Either team could take an entire quarter for one shot if they chose to. St. Louis, a little hesitation to the rack off glass. Count it. What a move, Cato.
Just tremendous. With the hesitation dribble, gets everybody to commit to him, and he just breaks around the defenders.
This one read beautifully and intercepted. Sellers able to maintain possession. Dumped inside. Katulski off the glass again. He's hit his last 2 shots.
Katulski's showing some tremendous footwork in the paint, knowing where he is and where to get the shot off.
Little half-court pressure here from the Bears. Inside, St. Louis with a dump-off pass. And a foul is called. Coach Keys was hoping that he might get a travel. Not the case. That foul goes against Tommy Benincasa, his first, team second.
Benincasa did not get good position under the basket. Best he could do is just push McKeithen off the position so he doesn't get a clean shot off.
A couple of subs checking in. Got Khalid Sherrill, Justin Ford, and Saquon Williams getting ready to check in here for the Senators. McKeithen goes 1 for 2 at the line. It is now a 10-7 game.
And Saquon Williams will check in for McKeithen after the foul shot.
Sellers in trouble, put it on the floor, and now a loose ball scrum, and they're going to have a jump ball possession going to the Senators.
Just loose ball. Both teams working very hard at picking up the loose balls. And at times you're just gonna see that kind of a scrum right around the midcourt area.
4.5 minutes played so far. The score is 10-7 in favor of McMahon, as a foul is called against Lewis Paul, his first and the team's first.
Lewis Paul going for the basketball, not realizing he had a man underneath him, reaches over the top, draws the foul.
We have seen 8 McMahon possessions so far, Cato. They have had a turnover on 50% of them. As the reverse layup is good, aggressive take and finish there from Alcina.
Alcina just showing tremendous athleticism working the baseline.
Almost able to pick that pass off as St. Louis cut off before he could reach the rack. And now a loose ball race that Sellers comes up with. Sellers dumps, that's Alcina who dumps it inside to Sellers. The bucket is good. Norwalk's got their first lead, and Coach Dustin is going to take a timeout. Let's step aside quickly. When we get back, we'll welcome in Kevin, and we'll have more action from the holiday tournament right here at Norwalk High School on the HAN Network.
Have a sports injury or slip and fall that needs immediate care? Coastal Ortho Express Urgent Care gives you direct access to an orthopedic specialist fast, without an appointment. Basketball, hockey, skiing, whatever the sports injury is, sprain or fracture, Coastal Ortho Express can help. Coastal Ortho Express Urgent Care open Monday through Saturday, now in 2 locations. The iPark building at 761 Main Avenue in Norwalk and 36 Old Kings Highway South in Darien. Or go to coastalorthoexpress.com, like them on Facebook.
Welcome back to the HAN Network's coverage of the 2016 holiday tournament here at Norwalk High School. We go now down courtside to our own Kevin Coleman. Kevin, first of all, well done on the first game this afternoon. You were just behind Coach Dustin in that McMahon huddle. What's the attitude like right now?
Coach Dustin, very disappointed in his team. He wants them to cut off the baseline, take the charge if they can. That's the basic line that he told his team during that little timeout speech.
Thank you, Kevin. We'll come back to you shortly, as Day's shot was off the mark. Impressive job to control the rebound, and then it is tipped back by the sophomore Saquon Williams.
Williams showing that athleticism, getting above the rim for the putback.
Taking that one away from Katulski and going the opposite way was St. Louis. Williams just missed on the dunk attempt, trying to put that one back. As then the opposite end, back and forth we go. A fast pace here early on. Day, crossover in the middle. St. Louis kicks outside. Shot is blocked. Katulski sent him packing. Wide open down low is Williams, and he finishes again.
Katulski gets the block, but then chases the basketball and leaves Williams all alone under the paint.
Both teams trying traps early on here, Cato, both in the half court and full court. A travel was called against the Bears, so they'll turn it over. And a couple more subs with Jaden Grant and Demiri Paul checking in.
Both teams are working a 3-2 zone on defense, and what's happening, you're seeing the ball handlers just breaking it down.
And turned over there, a mental mistake, uncharacteristic of Quinlan Huertas.
And Quinlan Huertas on the inbound just rushes himself just a little bit, getting out, and causes the throw-in violation.
Jaden Grant will inbound. Alcina went baseline, now pulls up from the mid-range, and he rattles it on in. Another 2 points for Alcina. He's up to 4 on the night.
Alcina with the 12-footer turns, fakes the pass outlet to the three-point line. Everybody breaks away from him and gives him an easy shot.
Very close as walking line was Quinlan Huertas, but he kept it in play. On the court for the first time tonight, you've got Xavier Rojas McCray for McMahon. Dump back, spin move, going up strong, and the foul. Khalid Sherwood, as the sophomores are carrying the Senators right now, Kalen.
And Sherrod, it's just tremendous athleticism and ball control, able to control his steps, gets that first step he goes at Katulski, draws him out, and just a little body fake is able to get the drive to the basket. Katulski, with no choice, has to foul him to try to prevent the shot, and to no avail.
Foul went against Zaire Sellers for Norwalk. His first, team's third. They trail by 3 with less than a minute to play in the first quarter. Going up to the glass, converting again, it's Kerry Alcina. The young man's heating up. He's got 6 points so far.
And Brien McMahon, they're working along the baseline. They're not getting into position to draw the charges. Norwalk's just blowing by the defenders.
Good hustle there by Sellers, and he saves this one. And now an opportunity for the Bears. 30 seconds. Sellers going to spot up the 3. In and out, no good. Excuse me. That was Alcina. And then a foul called against the Bears. It is on Demiri Paul, his first. 27 seconds remaining. It is 16-15 in favor of the Senators.
And on the rebound, Williams had the ball in possession, and it just happens that Demir Paul did not get to position in time and gets the hook and draws the hold and creates the hold foul.
A fast-paced first quarter. Not a lot of timeouts, not a lot of stoppages. We've seen fouls be the majority of those, but only 5 so far. 4 of them going against the Bears. McMahon has done a great job so far in beating that trap press. Quick passes and isolating out of the middle.
And the junior Joseph Benikowsko will draw his first foul. Both teams have got to be careful on defense. What's going to happen if they get too touchy with their hands? The refs are not going to allow that to happen. They're going to start blowing whistles.
Day working against Benincasa, tried to cross him over, but coming to save this time was Rojas McCray. Little scoop layup, no good. Battle down below. And coming away with the rebound was Alton Hall. This shot will not count as the first quarter comes to an end. 16 for McMahon and 15 for Norwalk. Back and forth they went. What a first quarter it was. We'll step aside quickly and be back with more of the Norwalk Holiday Tournament right after this on the HAN Network.
Want to reach new heights in your fitness and health goals? Find what you're looking for at Elevation Spin, Train, and TRX in Georgetown, Connecticut. Elevation Spin gives you purposeful spinning workouts inspired by the road. We encourage monitoring of heart rate and energy zones. Elevation also offers customized personal training with dedicated professionals passionate about helping you reach your goals. And let us motivate you to reach greater performance and functionality with TRX suspension training, using your own body weight for an incredible dynamic workout. Located at 4 Old Mill Road in Georgetown, call Elevation at 203-544-9503 or visit elevationspintraintrx.com for more.
We are back on the HAN Network. 1 quarter of play in the books. It is 16-15 in favor of the Senators, Cato. No Senator with more than 4 points. A much more balanced scoring attack. The high scorer in the game, Kerry Alcina, right now with 6. Peter Katulski had 4. Do you think we'll see the Bears try to get the big guy more involved in this second quarter?
You would like to get the big guy more involved. The problem is with the with the 2 personal fouls, he's coming back out to start. But one more, you may not see him to the second half.
And really, the pace of play did not help his cause either. It was a lot of transition offense, running back and forth. And McMahon was focusing on protecting the paint, which was why we saw the baseline so open for Norwalk.
And on the defensive side, McMahon did a great job of rotating players through, giving the big fella a hard time picking up any one particular person to defend.
Good to see Coach Tom Keys getting him touches early on, though. Speaking of Tom Keys, standing not too far behind him is our own Kevin Coleman. Let's go down to Kevin to start the second quarter. Kevin, a very fast pace of play here as we enter into the second quarter now. We will come back to Kevin shortly. A little technical difficulty there. That foul went against Jaden Grant. That is his first. Team's sixth. Pull-up jumper from St. Louis off the back iron and in. So it's Matt St. Louis picking up his third and fourth point of the night to kick off the scoring in the second quarter. Both these teams had to win yesterday to qualify for this championship game as they went back inside to Katulski. No good. Definitely trying to get the big guy involved early on, though, in the second quarter, Cato.
And at times, if you're the big fella, you get the ball down underneath, you get multiple Senators collapsing on top of you. Look for that open guy at the three. He had, it looked like it was Alcea over here at three.
Off on the mid-range jumper from the free throw line was Gotulski. Day going in transition, finds St. Louis. Pretty passing, better finish. A quick 4 points for Matt St. Louis to start the quarter. Alcina with the crossover move. Got a roar from the crowd. And a good job to walk the line that time. Originally by Stuart Luttrell.
Latrell Stewart gets the steal. Unfortunately, he gets the ball too far ahead of him, and the official had no shot at getting, Nicholas Brien had no shot at getting out of the way. And it's just his own, it was Stewart's own speed that did him in on that play.
Foul on the floor here. It's going to go against Aaron McKeithen, his first. Only the second team foul against the Senators. They lead by 5 with 6:13 remaining in the second quarter over their crosstown rival, the Norwalk Bears.
And Norwalk has to be careful. They're very close early to putting McMahon in the 1-on-1 bonus.
Benicasso sends in Jaden Grant, too strong. Katulski able to pick up the rebound, but he was pickpocketed that time by Eric Day. Day in transition, going to the rack, no foul called, but possession will stay with the Senators.
Eric Riley on top of that call. And from here, Norwalk wants to travel, but on the drive in, Day loses possession of the ball. And the ball comes loose. It's an interrupted dribble. He can run as many steps as he wants. If he doesn't have possession of the ball, it's not a travel.
And they're going to call Day on the backcourt violation. Let's go down courtside now. Kevin Coleman. Kevin, we are just over 2 minutes into the second quarter. The fast pace continuing here through this tournament.
It has, and you talk about this crowd over here on the Norwalk side, Frank. Beautiful lay-in there from Norwalk. This Norwalk side's getting pretty loud over here.
And the student section definitely out and about for both sides. We are surrounded right now by the Senators fans. A great atmosphere tonight as the three-pointer from Latrell Stewart. Count it.
Latrell left all alone in the far corner. And Norwalk didn't even rotate out when he had the ball to go out and defend him.
A 6-point game again. Sawyer dumps back. Benicasso. He was in the parking lot of Stu Leonard's for that shot.
That ball's out of bounds, hit off the strap. That elevates the basket when they're not using the hoops during the regular season. When they're using the gym for other things.
All alone by the basket for the reverse, and able to convert that time was Saquon Williams. Easiest 2 points he will score all season long. Coach Keys a little upset.
Coach Keys has to be careful. He made his point.
Norwalk a little discombobulated at the moment. They trail by 8, the largest deficit of the night. Bringing this one back up now is Zaire Sellers. Sellers working against Day. Had it taken away momentarily, but was able to regain. Benincasa in the corner. Off the back rim, no good. Good job controlling that rebound by Saquon Williams. And then it was poked out of play. We've seen Norwalk cool off a little bit, and they've strayed away from the baseline attack, Cato.
And you talked about Williams. It was just tremendous concentration and not so much ball control, but he showed such concentration, keeping the ball within himself. Even though he couldn't get a handle on it, he was still able to control it long enough to find an open man to pitch it off to.
And we're seeing a lot of players being used from both rosters right now. The depth on display. They will try to keep as many players fresh, and we would expect to see those starting fives again as we get down into the final 8 to 10 minutes of this game.
Well, when you're moving at a pace like this, you have to rotate bodies through. You can't burn any one individual out because you need your key players for those last 8 minutes, provided you're still in the game.
It's Quinlan Huertas. Kicks out to St. Louis. Back out to Stewart. Goes up, no glass necessary. He drops that one in. A 10-point lead for McMahon. Three-pointer well off the mark, as missing that time was Connor Mastropietro. And a carry called here against Eric Day. He has struggled at the start of this one, only 3 points so far. And Kevin, we've talked about the balanced scoring that we've seen from Norwalk. They had 4 players in double digits in yesterday's game, but it's the Senators who are getting scoring from top to bottom right now.
You talk about Latrell Stewart. I'm sitting right here over in the corner. He hit that three-pointer right in front of me. Very impressed with his play, of course. That last possession, he laid in a nice layup. Latrell Stewart, for me, has made a big impact for the Senators so far in this first half, Frank.
Thank you, Kevin. A foul goes against Saquon Williams, his first. The team's third. And at the line is Armani Sawyer. Sawyer had 12 points in last night's game.
First basket's going to be waved off for a free throw violation.
Not something you see very often.
You've got to pay attention to that foul line. You're going to put your foot over that line. They're going to blow the whistle on it.
The next foul against Norwalk will put the Senators into the bonus. They'll shoot a 1-and-1. So Sawyer goes 1 of 2, picks up his first point of the night, and it's a single-digit game again.
Norwalk starting out, they're going to go to the 1-3-1 press and try to force McMahon to make McMahon make plays, hopefully make a lot of mistakes.
Inside, going up strong, not once but twice. And unable to convert on that one was Shaylod. Excuse me, that's Sherrill. Three-pointer on the way, no good. Loose ball here, and Rojas McCray picked it up. Up off the glass, count it. Good finish there, Aaron McKeithen, as the Senators continue to attack in transition. Wasting no time themselves are the Bears, and grabbing his own rebound and converting is Mastropietro.
Mastropietro just stays with the basketball, follows it in, gets to the right spot for the rebound.
And finally ready to slow things down for a moment is Xavier Rojas McCray. But St. Louis wastes no time, gets into the paint, hits the runner. Well done from 10 feet out.
McCray's able to find an open space right in the middle of the paint, able to put the easy jumper in.
That one stolen away. McKeithen coming up with the steal. All the way to the basket and converting is Quinlan Huertas. It's a 13-point Senator lead, and Coach Tom Keys is going to talk it over with his group. We'll talk it over with ours, and we'll be right back after this on the HAN Network. Network. It is 33-20 in favor of the Senators with 2:19 remaining in the second quarter of the 2016 Norwalk Fall Winter Classic, Holiday Classic.
That's better, Holiday Classic.
There you go. That was a tough effort there. The Senators are doing it in transition right now, Cato. They are just running, and Norwalk has no answer, and they can't solve it on the offensive end either.
The hard part for Norwalk is to get position. Shots just aren't falling. They're getting good open shots. Right now, they're not falling for them.
Able to escape, and now they swing it all the way around as Sellers drives inside. But before the foul, he's called for a travel. And another turnover, the 7th one tonight by the Bears with 2 minutes remaining in the first half.
For Norwalk, it's Brien McMahon. They're doing a great job. They're collapsing down in the paint on the ball handler, not allowing those easy in the paint, just outside the paint jump shots.
And the Bears have not been able to knock down threes yet to really force that zone to expand. They're giving them to him as Alcina's rims in and out. Day all the way to the rack. The reverse is blocked from behind. They're going to call Alcina for the foul.
Alcina is going to get called for the push. And Eric Day is going to shoot two. Now that puts Brien McMahon in the shooting bonus. And with 1:43, Norwalk had gone a good stretch without a foul, about 3-4 minutes. Now it just looks like McMahon was taking advantage of it. They were attacking the basket, hoping to draw those extra fouls to get those foul shots. And now, with Norwalk in this position where they got them shooting the bonus, you might want to just clamp down on the defense, get a little more physical.
Offensive board by McKeithen. Day resets. Working to his left. Pull-up jumpers too strong. The rebound was picked up by Saheem LeBird.
Zaire Zeller had to strip, had to break on the run, but unfortunately he stepped on the end line, giving the ball back to McMahon.
It's a 14-point lead for McMahon, the largest of the night. Day up top. Rojas McCray back to Day. And now they dump it inside. But an offensive violation called.
It'll be a 3-second violation. And actually, that was a very generous 3 seconds because Peter Katulski was in the paint for a little bit of time.
1:15 remaining in the first half. It is a 14-point deficit for the Bears. As Zaire Sellers unable to shake Day. And now finds it back in his hands again. Alcina thought about the shot, instead put it on the floor. Back up top as we're under a minute in the first half. Kick down low, three-pointer on the way, and good. Joe Benincasa picks up his first 3 points of the night.
And Norwalk to get back in this game, they need Benincasa to heat up and make some points.
They'll need both of them to get hot soon. That time it was Joe. Of course, Thomas, his older brother, is a senior captain. Traveling was the call. So a big opportunity here with 40 seconds left. Alcina took that first step before putting it down, and so they return the favor. And with 33 seconds left, Cato, do you expect to see the Senators hold this for one shot?
I would expect them to. You're up 11. You want that last shot. You don't want Norwalk to go into the locker room at halftime with any kind of momentum.
St. Louis finally crosses half court. Rojas McCray. But now a hand check here. Foul is going to go against Sellers, his second. Team's eighth. Senators are in the bonus. They will send St. Louis to the line for the 1-and-1.
And if you're Sellers, you have to defend with your feet. You can't reach out and put your hands on them. It's a check. It's going to get called. You have to move better with your feet get the position, work the angles, and cut off those drive lanes.
Friendly roll for St. Louis. It's the lead back to 12. Here comes the second half of the bonus. It's that same roll again. He's up to 8 points in the quarter. He's the game's high scorer with 10 right now. 36-23 with 15 seconds remaining. Sellers on the floor going towards the rack. No good. He had it stripped away. 10 seconds left. St. Louis in transition trying to save it. And it comes all the way around. Quick three-pointer, no good. The rebound by McKeithen up and no good. And the half will end. No, they're going to say there was a foul before.
One and one at the end, and Khalid Sherrill is going to shoot 2 free throws.
With no time on the clock, he is the loneliest man in this gym right now, but unfazed as he knocks down the first. Hits the second, perfect on both of them. That makes it a 38-23 game at the half. We'll step down courtside now where Kevin Coleman will be joined by McMahon basketball coach Ken Dunston. Kevin, take it away.
Thanks, Frank. Here with Coach Ken Dunston. Coach, what are the takeaways in this first half so far?
When we pressure them defensively, we look good. When we don't, they do what they want.
Talk about Khalid Sherrill, what his first half performance is like, what he's meant to this team as a sophomore.
He's a very hard worker, tough kid. Always has the knack for the rebound and goes and gets the ball. Very nice effort out of him so far.
Now going to the locker room, what's the speech going to be to your team?
You better play better defense.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
All right, Frank, back to you.
Thank you, Kevin, and thank you to Coach Dunston. Cato, let's take a quick break here. We'll come back in just a couple moments, break down that first half. McMahon with a 15-point lead, 38-23 from the 2016 Norwalk Holiday Tournament from Norwalk High School right here on the HAN Network.
I really wanted something that felt like a home. Coming from a big house, I wanted the feel of a home as opposed to a condo. New Canaan is 6 minutes down the road. New Canaan's a beautiful little town to walk around. I work in Westport. My commute is 20 minutes. It's close to Westchester where my family is, so the location is ideal. There is no other townhome that compares in the area. This is where I want to be.
Would you like to be able to help in an emergency? Do you know what to do when a family member is in distress? Learn life-saving skills and become a certified EMT in New Canaan. Whether you're looking for a career in healthcare or you want to give back to your community, the training is invaluable. The New Canaan Volunteer Ambulance Corps is offering an EMT certification course starting on January 16th, 2 nights a week and some Saturdays. It's filling up quickly, so call 203-594-3535 to get involved. New Canaan Volunteer Ambulance Corps. Neighbors helping neighbors. Find out more at ncvac.org.
HAN Network at halftime. It is a 15-point lead for the Senators. And before we break the first half, let's send it back to the studio with our own Kate Chaplensky for an in-game news update.
I'm Kate Chaplensky, and this is your in-game news update on the HAN Network, bringing you the latest headlines for Wednesday, December 28th from our Shelton News studio, including that Stratford firefighters are mourning the loss of one of their own. Firefighter and youth basketball coach Jason Carafiello died on Monday, according to Fire Chief Brian Lampart. Lampart said emergency crews responded to a call of respiratory distress at about 12:50 p.m. at Carafiello's home on Middlebrook Avenue. Carafiello was a firefighter for 12 years. He was also a boys basketball coach at St. James School and served as a freshman boys basketball coach at St. Joseph High School in Trumbull. St. Joseph released a statement in response, saying in part that our hearts go out to the Carafiello family and prayers are offered, especially for his wife Jessica, son Brian, and daughter Caitlin. Athletic Director Kevin Butler and other school administrators at St. Joe's were available Tuesday for students who were in need of counseling. And in other news, Shelton police have released new details on that bus driver that reportedly fell asleep at the wheel while driving intermediate school students home.
On Tuesday, December 27th, Shelton police arrested the bus driver who was reported to have been driving erratically back on December 16th. 55-year-old Paul Pixley of Derby was arrested on a warrant and charged with 30 counts of risk of injury to a minor and reckless driving. Pixley is currently being held on a $75,000 bond and was scheduled to appear in court today. As our own Shelton Herald reported last week, back on December 16th at about 3:40 in the afternoon, police received a call that a bus driver was falling asleep while driving and swerving all over the road. Police were able to pull over the vehicle on Nichols Avenue near Earl Street. The children were escorted off of the bus, and police said that there were no children on the bus when they made that traffic stop. Pixley allegedly fell asleep several times while the children were on board. Students were Snapchatting the sleeping driver and also sending photos to their parents, who then contacted the school, and school officials subsequently called police. And the number of accidents on state highways over the holiday weekend rose by 14.5% compared with the same period a year ago, according to Connecticut State Police. A total of 528 accidents occurred between just after midnight, December 22nd, and until just before midnight on December 26th. A year ago, the accidents totaled 461. Police also say there were 4 fatalities compared with 5 last year. Those included in Danbury, where a car hit a pedestrian on December 22nd on I-84, and another pedestrian was killed on the same day on Route 8's exit 27 in Naugatuck. Accidents with injury, including serious injury, totaled 58 this year, up from 56 in 2015. And police say driving under the influence arrests totaled 47, up from 40 in 2015. Trumbull resident Gillian Anderson, whose daughter Abby took her own life in 2014 after struggling with clinical depression, has made it her mission to help ensure that other parents never have to experience what she did. Anderson recently joined the staff of the Jordan Porco Foundation, a Hartford-based nonprofit dedicated to mental health, suicide prevention, and building hope among high school and college-age students. After Abby's death, Gillian said she thought about forming a foundation herself, but then she heard about the Jordan Porco Foundation and everything fell into place. She's since become their new development director, and in that role, she's currently working on a fundraising effort in partnership with the new Broadway musical Dear Evan Hansen. That's about a lonely teen whose social status improves after the suicide of a classmate. Given the show's popularity, buying tickets is next to impossible, but Anderson says that all donations to the Jordan Porco Foundation made between now and December 31st will be entered into a drawing to win a pair of tickets to that show. You can get more on that story at TrumbullTimes.com. And Connecticut's Department of Energy and Environmental Protection joins America's state parks and all 50 state park systems for free guided first-day hike programs on New Year's Day 2017. This year, the DEEP offers the guided first-day hikes on January 1st at the Kellogg Environmental Center, the Hammonasset Beach State Park, Mansfield Hollow State Park, Scantic River State Park, and Sleeping Giant State Park. You can get more details on those guided hikes at thewestonforum.com. But that does it for this in-game news update. For the latest local news, sports, and more, watch Coffee Break weekdays at 11. This update was brought to you by Coastal Orthopedics.
Have a sports injury or slip and fall that needs immediate care? Coastal Ortho Express Urgent Care gives you direct access to an orthopedic specialist fast, without an appointment. Basketball, hockey, skiing, whatever the sports injury is, sprain or fracture, Coastal Ortho Express can help. Coastal Ortho Express Urgent Care, open Monday through Saturday, now in 2 locations. The iPark building at 761 Main Avenue in Norwalk and 36 Old Kings Highway South in Darien. Or go to coastalorthoexpress.com, like them on Facebook.
Back on the HAN Network, and we go down courtside one more time. Kevin Coleman is joined with Coach Tom Keys from the Norwalk Bears. Kevin, take it away, please.
Thanks, Frank. Here with Coach Tom Keys. Tom, coming back into the half, down 38-22. What's the message to your team?
We got to want it more. Right now, McMahon wants the game more than we do, and that's why they're getting second chance points and they're beating us to all the loose balls. So, we really got to have more desire to win the game, and if we do that, we have a chance of coming back.
What kind of adjustments are you going to make for this team in the second half?
We need to take care of the ball. We need to go get the ball when they miss it. So, we're really going to focus, switch some things up on defense and see if we can grab some rebounds and keep them to 1 and out. And if we can do that, hopefully we have a chance to come back.
All right, good luck, Coach. Thank you. Frank, back to you.
Thank you, Kevin. And Cato, I thought Coach said it best right there. They need to protect the ball. Turnovers killed the Bears in the first half.
Turnovers and going to go get it. It's those second chances, too, that gave Brien McMahon points as well. And Brien McMahon, they're going to take the ball out to start the second half. We're going to see how the adjustments and the defensive play calling that Norwalk's going to, maybe they're going to change things up. We'll see how it goes starting now.
We thought that the Bears had the most success in that first half when they were able to get to the baseline, drive and penetrate, and they also saw shooters open up off those opportunities. They strayed away from it a little bit in the second quarter there. As McMahon comes up empty on the first possession, they have the leading scorer in the game. That's Matt St. Louis, who has 8 points. The high scorer for the Bears is still Kerry Alcina. He had all 6 of those in the first quarter, but he is now tied with Peter Katulski, who picks up the first 2 points of the second half.
Norwalk in that first possession, they come out, they're more active. Great ball movement, moving with the basketball, moving without the basketball, and rotating.
Coach Keys thought there might have been a backcourt violation. No call, though. They look to dump it inside to McKeithen, but the errant pass gets away. Sawyer keeps play going. Alcina tries to drive. That's the third time we have seen Alcina called for a travel on one of those plays, Cato.
And what's happening is Alcina, he's starting that dribble drive, but he's holding the ball for that extra step. He's not putting it on the floor. He thinks he's dribbling, but it's still in his hand as he takes that step off the dribble.
Quinlan Huertas with it. Goes back to St. Louis. The layup no good. Tipped around. And now Alcina controls. Going to drive and penetrate. Had it blocked for a moment. Goes up off the glass. Can't convert. But he will head to the line to shoot 2.
Huertas is going to get called for the hack on that shot. It was both Huertas, Quinlan Huertas, and Eric Day on the defense, and it was Huertas who's the one on the trail, doubles back to try to get the block shot and hits the arm.
As knocking down his first free throw is Alcina. Remember, this is a Bears team that trailed late last night. Down 7 in the final 90 seconds and was able to come back and find a way. As good work down low and the rebound there. Katulski gets the bucket, but it was Tommy Benicasso who made it all happen, Cato.
And it's just tremendous concentration and just tremendous heart to get that rebound and try to get the rebound, and then it just allows Katulski to get that rebound and put the putback.
Alcina will be called for that foul. A hard hack there on McKeithen, who heads to the line. Good start to the quarter, though, for the Bears. They trail.
It wasn't Alcina on the foul. It was Connor Mastro Pietro.
Correction there. First foul on Mastro Pietro. McKeithen missed on the first. And saw the second one go all the way down and out. 0 for 2 is McKeithen. Opportunity for the Bears to make this a single-digit game. Mastro Pietro goes to the baseline. Looking for Alcina, who walks a tightrope now to stay in play. Goes up off the glass, not once, but the second time had it blocked. And now he comes up with it again. And finally, able to escape the chaos is Eric Day. 5:40 remaining, a 10-point game. Sawyer saw it poked away, but a foul will go. And this time it's Armani Sawyer picking up his first. And frustrating down in the paint there, Cato. Missed opportunities for the Bears.
Sawyer was trying for the defensive play, trying to get that, try to get the deflection and try to start back the other way with McMahon going into the offensive boards. He tried to reach in and strip the ball from Latrell Stewart. Just gets the hand inside of Latrell's and draws the hook, and creates the hook, I should say.
Latrell Stewart missing on that first free throw. Off on the second one as well. So the Senators 0 for 4 to start the quarter here. With a little lull in the action at the moment, let's go down courtside to Kevin Coleman. Kevin, the gym is absolutely packed. Plenty of students in attendance. It's awfully quiet in here right now.
Well, since Norwalk is down 38-28, the student session is a little subdued. Got to see if they can get back into it, Frank. We know that you mentioned they got back into the game yesterday to make it interesting, of course, winning that game against Capital Prep. See if the student session can come alive.
Thank you, Kevin. A timeout is taken. We'll stay here. Cato, another traveling call against the Bears there before that last whistle.
And it's just a matter of both teams, they're trying to rush the transition. If you're going to go run full court, you can't rush it. You have to let it flow. And what's happening is they're picking up the ball and they're getting their footwork going before they put the ball on the floor. And you're seeing it, and it's both sides that are doing it. And getting back to that last possession, after that missed free throw, Aaron McKeithen really could have rebounded that basketball and took his time getting it out. He tried to get the deflection out to get a fellow Senator out along the three-point line, and he just couldn't find anybody.
We've got another foul called here out of the break. It's going to go against Mastro Pietro again.
That's 2 quick fouls for Mastro Pietro, and he has to be careful. He doesn't want to get into foul trouble early on too, because he's another shooter that Norwalk can depend on late in games.
Good passing here to beat the defense. This one looks like it's going to go on Katulski.
And Katulski is slow. Katulski was slow in reacting to that ball going in down low. He wanted that shot. He wasn't sure if he should swat it away or block it, and he got caught in between. If he's going to go up, get your hands on the ball, draw the jump ball.
It's the second foul against Katulski. As we see another missed free throw.
That could come back to haunt Brien McMahon down the road. You have to make these free shots. You can't keep missing these and hope to keep Norwalk at bay. These are points being given to you. You have to take them.
And that one, last touch by the Senators. 0 for 6 is McMahon from the free throw line in the third quarter, Cato. No excuses.
That's a 10-point game. You have to make at least 2 of those 4.
And how long can the Bears be given these extra opportunities and not capitalize on them? They need to convert on one of these possessions now. Shooters all across the board. They're joined by Katulski, who's working in the middle against Saquon Williams. Driving to the rack, little hesitation in midair, and finishing is Armani Sawyer. It's a single-digit game as the lead is trimmed to 8.
Sawyer with the glide to the hoop and the ball handling, and he's able to finish.
Neutral zone trap coming. Williams couldn't handle it originally. Kicks out. Quinlan Huertas for 3, well short, but Williams able to gather in the rebound and convert for 2.
Quinlan Huertas has also struggled from the three-point line. He is normally a very good shooter for this team.
Either team shooting exceptionally well right now from three-point land as Sellers puts it on the floor. Crazy shot, can't find the rim, but Williams able to collect the rebound. Day in transition, quick pass inside. Foul probably that had to be taken by Armani Sawyer. But again now, only Sawyer's second, but it's quickly the team's 4th here in the second half.
Sawyer has to stay calm. He did get a hand. He did get a hand in an attempt to go over the top. In that attempt to go over the top of Khalid Sherrill. If you get behind him and you're going to put that hand on, if you get the guy you're defending to move forward, you're going to get called for the push every single time.
Sherrill hits the first free throw, and that is actually the 5th team foul against Norwalk. Only 2 away from the bonus are the Senators. It's back to an 11-point lead as Tommy Benincaso grabs a seat on the bench as Demiri Paul comes in to spell him. 2 for 2 is Sherrill, and it's a 12-point game with 4 minutes remaining in the third quarter. Backdoor cut, hesitation, freezing in the air, and got it to go. Alcina, nice touch by the rim, young man.
Alcina showing the athleticism and the hustle, getting to the basket.
Quinlan Huertas throws on the front rim. Second time around, no good. Third time, battling through contact, Khalid Sherrill.
And Sherrill is hurt on the floor.
Still slow to get up as the medical staff comes out. We're going to step aside quickly, and we'll be right back with more holiday tournament coverage right here on the HAN Network.
Are you ready for winter? Ski and Sport has everything you need to be fully outfitted for the season. A family-owned and operated business with over 40 years of experience, Ski and Sport's 3 convenient locations in Fairfield County offer top-quality, high-fashion ski and winter wear. In addition to clothing for men, women, and children, we also offer seasonal rentals for the entire family. Stop by our stores on 1 Ethan Allen Highway in Ridgefield, 877 Post Road East in Westport, and at 110 Main Street in New Canaan, or visit us at skiandsport.net.
At Hoyt Livery, our goal is to always... Sam, what are you doing? We're filming a commercial.
I'm checking out the new Hoyt on the Go app.
Hoyt's here!
Hi, this is Leo Carl from Carl Chevrolet in New Canaan, and you've heard me talk about the Chevy Volt for years. The new model gets 53 miles on EV charge daily, plus 420-mile full range. But don't take my word for it. You need to come in and test drive the Volt yourself. Visit us at 261 Elm Street in New Canaan or online at carldirect.com.
Able to get up under his own power and walk off the court was Khalid Sherrill. He'll take a seat on the bench momentarily. That last foul went against Matt St. Louis for the Senators. The skip pass goes down low. Asina up in the air, got it to go in, 1. And it has been all Kerry Alcina here in the second half, Cato.
And it's going to be Saquon Williams drawing the foul on the drive. And it's just unbelievable the way Alcina was able to contort his body to get a facing the basket to complete that shot.
Going to the bait line, St. Louis, and he gets it to go.
Great drive along the baseline by Matt St. Louis.
Back to an 11-point game after the quick answer from the Senators. 3 minutes to play in the third quarter. Controlling now is Sawyer. Sawyer and Sellers playing catch at the top of the key. Trying to find it, trying to get it inside some way. But no open holes in the defense at the moment. That 3-2 zone just smothering and suffocating the inside, Cato.
And again, it's that quick, it's that impatience to get to the basket or get the ball moving. And you watch Brien McMahon on defense. Everybody moving in unison. That zone, all working together. For Brien McMahon, they need a lot more of that, and they need to counteract Norwalk's athleticism to prevent them from getting to the basket.
2:20 remaining, 46-35. Mid-range jumper gets a nice roll off the front rim as Latrell Stewart converts.
Stewart makes the foul shot.
Trailing by 13. Stuck to the outside. And the shooters have not made an impact quite yet for the Bears, as having his luck, or testing his luck from three-point land that time was Alcina, but he's unable to hit. A fortuitous bounce for the Bears keeps possession. That one rolled off a Senator's leg.
Katulski's going to take a break.
Smart play there from Benincasa, hoping for some movement, but couldn't get any on that inbound attempt. Cato, this will be the first time in the last decade that Norwalk and McMahon will play against each other twice in the same regular season, as Day able to intercept the pass and go in for another 2 points. He is up to 8 on the night.
Day with the steal and the drive, making it look easy.
In their last 10 head-to-head meetings, they have split the series 5-5. McMahon won last season 82-70. Norwalk had won 4 straight before that. As Quinlan Huertas on the step back, and that gets a rise from the crowd. As Coach Tom Keys needs to take a timeout and calm everybody down.
And believe it or not, you watch it, Ken Dunston wanted the block on that drive by Huertas, and it just wasn't there. I mean, you see the contact, but when you get the defender moving in the same direction, you're not going to get called for the block because he's not impeding the ball handler. Huertas just smart, recognizing that his defender is moving away from him, pulls up for the easy jumper.
Kevin, that might have gotten the loudest roar we have heard all night. The student section definitely jumped to our feet. I think on both sides they might have.
I even think some Norwalk fans even applauded that crossover. I mean, Quinlan with the beauty, stopping, getting a defender to cross his ankles, the beautiful jumper. I mean, that's a top 10 play right there. What a beautiful play.
And it expands the lead to the largest of the night now, Cato. It is a 17-point difference with 1:09 remaining in the third.
And despite as well as Norwalk is played, they still trail by 17, which goes to it gives Brien McMahon a lot of credit because their defense has been able to convert on those quick points. Norwalk's been trying to run their sets, trying to get their three-pointers. Instead, they've been forced to use their athleticism to get to the basket.
And that's really what it is right now. Kevin, the defense for McMahon is winning this game because they've left a lot of points on the board in this quarter, but they're not allowing Norwalk to capitalize on the opportunities.
It's not only their defense, Frank, it's also their rebounding. I've been very impressed of how good they've been on the boards. This is probably one of the big reasons, along with their defense that you're seeing right here, is why Norwalk is having such a tough time. And Frank, during that break, looking over at Coach Keys, him and Katulski were getting into it because Katulski was getting angry that he wasn't getting the ball, claiming that he was open.
They'll have to do something quickly because now we're approaching crunch time where we know Eric Day will go off as he starts to heat up. 54-35 the score with 30 seconds remaining. That shot attempt is blocked. And Incasso wanted a three, had it sent right back as the defense is starting to pick up.
And a big mistake by Armani Sawyer. Gets the ball back at the outside along the out-of-bounds line in front of his bench. Instead of driving back out in the open court, he tries to take the hard route, go along, and try to get to the baseline to drive the basket.
And Incasso off the pump fake. His jumper is too long. That's touched by Eric Day. Thought he might have been pushed, but when you're leading by 19, you're not going to disagree with any calls by the officials. And the ball never lies as it quickly refines the hand of Eric Day. He's going to go to the rack again, falling backwards off glass and converts.
Eric Day is taking control of this offense for Brien McMahon.
Tommy Benincasso's last second heave can't quite make it there. We have played 3 quarters, and we are into a 20-point differential for the first time tonight. McMahon 56, Norwalk 35. Let's step aside, and we will be right back with more high school basketball coming up next on the HAN Network.
At InSports Trumbull, the game is always on inside. Recently renovated and home to one of Connecticut's largest indoor turf fields, InSports is a multi-sport recreation center providing state-of-the-art facilities for league play, camps, and youth programs. Sign up now for the InSports New England Top 80 Lacrosse Showcase taking place on January 14th. Coaches from New England colleges will be scouting and coaching the recruits for the college class of 2019 and 2020. The top 40 players will be featured in All-Star Game to get maximum recruiting exposure. Spots will fill up fast, so go to insports.com for pricing and more information. Like and follow us on Facebook.
Hello, I'm Noah Finns for the Vantage Sports Network. For highlights of this game and all the playoff games from around the state, tune in to CT Sports Now at 10:30 on the Vantage Sports Network, only on Frontier Communications. We are live Monday through Friday with all Connecticut sports, and tonight, highlights from all the playoff games, 10:30 to 11. Hope to see you then.
Back from the gymnasium at Norwalk High School, fourth quarter. Just about set to get started. And before we get started with the action, let's go inside the Norwalk huddle where Kevin Coleman just got some of the inside words from that Norwalk coach, Tom Keys. What did you hear there, Kevin?
Yeah, I was listening to that speech by Coach Keys. He's saying, just rally together. This is a team that came back yesterday after being down with 90 seconds left. They're down 7, Frank. They came back to win that game against Capital Prep. This is a manageable deficit for them that they can come back and win this game. That was pretty much what Coach Keys had to say, trying to say rally together, get the boards, let's start getting some points, Frank.
Well, a quick start for the Bears there, Cato, with the early bucket from Alcina. We expect the defensive pressure to be turned up, but way too open down low was McKeithen, as he'll want that attempt back. Almost a sigh of relief there from Alcina. I think he was anticipating a travel call.
Yeah, but it was Xavier Rojas McCray. He gets called for the block.
First foul on McCray. Alcina trying to go to work. Quickly takes back as he plays give and go. And now steps into a three. Off the side iron there, and a foul called on Sellers, much to his disbelief. But you could see, Cato, that the defense is rotating very aggressively with those passes. And a smart play by Tommy Benincasa, freezing the swing, going right back the other way to open up the Alcina three-pointer.
It's the only way to counteract that athletic defensive movement by McMahon. You have to rotate that ball, and you have to double back, force them to reset themselves.
Day switches to the left hand, and he finishes again. The young man's got 8 points in the second half. He leads all scorers in the game with 14.
And Day is just going to keep driving until somebody comes out and challenges him.
Alcina trying to respond, no good. And the rebound going to Stewart. Day again underneath Katulski, and he draws the foul.
And Day is going to end up shooting 2. Katulski's going to pick up his 3rd foul of the evening. And just a reminder out there, ladies and gentlemen, this and all HAN programming, you can watch it on the HAN app for your mobile device of any kind. Just go to the iTunes store or the Google store. Again, the HAN Network app, all FCX sports as well as local programming.
Of course, along with the app, all of our broadcasts and programs can be seen on demand at HAN.network. This will be our final sports broadcast of 2016. What a great year it was for the network. Congratulations to all the championship teams, all the athletes who were able to compete and get to be a part of this tremendous conference. Alton Hall is in for the first time tonight as Benincasa drains the 3 in the corner. Senior not ready to go down quietly as he gets his first points since the first quarter. Day on the turnaround. Short off the front iron and quickly standing back up was Rojas McCray, but he saw it rattle in and out. A 20-point difference, 40-60 in favor of Brien McMahon. Crosstown rivals meeting in the city's Holiday Tournament Championship game. Day wants to isolate against Hall. Being denied the ball at the moment. And Keithan with it, looking for help. Tried to dump it inside. And it finds its way to Day's hand. Pauses for a moment, spins inside. Oh, no good off the front iron.
Brien McMahon going to the high pick and roll to try to neutralize the Norwalk man-to-man zone, man-to-man pressure.
Foul goes against Jaden Grant, his second. It is the team's 8th. McMahon is into the bonus, but this is a shooting foul, so Day at the line now with 2 attempts. And he is off. On the first one.
St. Louis, Louis Paul, and the big man, Saquon Williams, all checking back in for Brien McMahon.
That's Day. 0 for 2 at the line, uncharacteristic from the senior. As now Alcina tried to drive to the rack, but he drew the foul. And it will go against Eric Day. Only his first foul, though. The 5th against Brien McMahon. Alcina paused in there midair for one moment, but he couldn't get the lane to fall. And now Matt St. Louis, who dominated much of the second quarter, kicks out to the man who's dominated the second half, Eric Day. He's going to isolate again, working on Hall. Off that high pick and roll, and this time dishes. Nice touch coming from Saquon Williams. That's as well as you can run the pick and roll, Cato.
Pretty much, and McMahon is happy working in the half court. They're not going to open up the floor and run it. Just in the idea that it may create extra points for Norwalk. They're going to settle it down. You're up 22. Play your half court offense. Run time off the clock.
The 2-3 zone is causing all sorts of problems. As Saquon Williams going up for the rack, denied on the dunk by himself.
It's going to be a 1-and-1 anyway, despite the fact that the foul is on the floor.
Credit the hustle from Alton Hall coming back, though, because that looked like a can of corn play for Saquon Williams. But the junior ran him down and refused to allow the easy bucket.
But for Saquon Williams, you're not in a situation where right now it looked like he was just trying to kind of showboat. He wanted that dunk. You have to be careful in this situation. If you're not 100% sure you can get it, put it off the glass and finish. You don't want to get hurt in a 23-point blowout.
Only a sophomore, but the future is very bright for the young man. And we expect to see a lot of him this year as Lewis Paul converts on his 2 free throws.
The curious question with the sophomore big man is he going to grow anymore?
The FCAC is hoping not.
Another 3 inches on this young man. He'll block out the paint.
Alcina had it denied. As Williams sent it back, he skied over for that one. Day coming back for a rebound. No good. He's got another rebound. Day, couple pump fakes. And then a 4th rebound before finally a whistle. What effort on the offensive boards by the Senators.
And it's going to be Jaden Grant called for the foul.
That is his 3rd foul. A timeout is taken with 3:39 remaining. We'll step aside as well. McMahon on their way to a holiday tournament title. They lead by 29. More high school basketball after this on the HAN Network.
Give your day a jumpstart with the latest news, sports, weather, and more on Coffee Break, live on the HAN Network, weekdays at 11 a.m. Connecticut news doesn't get any more local than on Coffee Break.
Back at the gymnasium at Norwalk High School, this is a 24-point game as Brien McMahon looking to win their second straight game against their crosstown rivals. And they won last season on February 6th, 82-70, that game at Norwalk as well. So they've had success here in the gym at Norwalk, and it's all smiles right now on the McMahon sideline, Kevin Coleman.
All smiles on the McMahon side. I'm just older, again, listening to what Coach Keys had to say during timeout. He was emphasizing, yes, we are a small team. They have to get the rebound, box out, grab the ball, look up court. That's what he kept emphasizing to his team, Frank. We'll see if they do that here. They couldn't quite get that rebound, but we'll see if the next 3.5 or so they can box out and try and climb back into this game.
Well, Norwalk, we saw
Brien McMahon will get the ball back on that.
Talk about the offensive rebound. Saquon Williams grabs another one. Gets it stuck on the side of the rim.
Just wedges it in there.
And it's just the way the day has gone for McMahon. They get to keep possession with the possession arrow going that way. And an offensive foul now called against Matt St. Louis as he ran over Alton Hall.
Sixth foul of the half for Brien McMahon. One more puts Norwalk in the bonus.
Controlling up top is Jaden Grant. Hall tried to dump it inside to Benincasa, but Williams read it perfectly. Intercepted in the passing lane. Kicked out, three-pointer on the way. In and out, but another offensive board for the Senators. And the putback falls as well as Lewis Paul gets that one to bounce around and drop. Alcina in trouble. Goes to the baseline, and he gets the reverse to go. He's up to 16 points on the night. He leads the Bears in scoring. Mid-range jumper, no good, and Katulski grabs a board. And we spoke with Coach Keys before the game, Cato, and the Bears come in 3-1. And coming off that huge win yesterday, the improbable comeback, Coach Keys felt that they played a little out of themselves. They got a much better effort yesterday than where he believes this team is. This is a talented group, but they still have a lot of growing up to do before they get to the true meat of the schedule.
For Norwalk, they have the athleticism, they have the size to be extremely competitive in the FCIAC. What they need to do is they need to put it together. They need to stay within themselves. They can't get frustrated, and you can't rush. You can't rush the fast breaks. You can't rush the dribble drives. You got to play a little bit smarter on defense. You have to box out. If you've got size on a team, use it to your advantage and box out. Get the offensive rebounds and the second chance points.
Boxing out and turnovers were obviously a huge concern all night long. For McMahon, got a lane violation.
Lane violation. The free throw has been negated. It's been a violation on Norwalk.
Second time they have had a free throw negated tonight. For McMahon, Cato, they're going to improve to 3-0. And this is a very talented, very deep Brien McMahon roster.
This is going to be a Brien McMahon team. You're going to see them. They're going to get to the FCIAC playoffs. And I have I strongly believe that this team, as the way they are and the way they're playing, they can get to an FCIAC final and make some noise in that tournament.
They've got good length. You wouldn't describe it as size, but they got good length. They're very agile. Their guards are a good size, and at any level of basketball, two strong guards, two confident guards running your offense and fronting your defense can go a long way when you get to the postseason.
Absolutely, and for them, it's it's, can you get your scores to basketball? Can you control the boards? And more importantly, I mean, for them, they need to make free throws.
And if you're going to have a problem, that's a good problem to have at this moment in the season. And Kevin, when we talk about getting your scores, the basketball, and having steady guards, the best news for McMahon, they've got arguably four guards, 4 true scorers that they can rely on as they get deeper and deeper into this season.
They have 4 great shooting guards, but how about Khalid Sherrill? I've been so impressed by his performance. He's only a sophomore. Not only him, but Saquon Williams, I thought has really stepped up into his own today, especially with that big board. I think he's been awesome on the boards tonight. He's been so good at boxing guys out, getting to the line. He even hit some free throws. I've been impressed with Williams today.
Saquon Williams also had 11 rebounds in yesterday's game against Joe Barlow. There's another foul here. This one goes against Hugh Klein. That's his first foul with 45 seconds remaining. And the score in favor of McMahon, 69-43.
And you look around the FCIAC, you see a team that's very similar. They may actually be a little bit, they may have a little bit of an edge over Brien McMahon is West Hill, the 2-time defending FCIAC champions. Because they have the guard play, they have the length in the guards, but they also have big men in the center.
And obviously West Hill will be one of the favorites just because they've won 2 in a row now. And it's similar to the way we look at Darien within the state for hockey. Yes, they're down right now, they're struggling, but there's that unwritten rule of, let's see, as long as they qualify for the tournament, they've got to be knocked off. Big 3 coming here from Joseph Benincasa with 30 seconds remaining. As you can hear the McMahon student section start to celebrate behind us. I think Danbury, who lost in that FCIAC championship last year, is a team that people should really keep an eye on, especially with Titus James back. And that's always a program that's going to have talent, but most importantly, size to pick from.
You're right. Another team we should look out for, too, is the Walton Warriors. And that is a team who, if you're not careful, they could beat you down inside. But also, if they're on, they'll shoot the lights out in the building.
They can knock down 23s in a game easily as the clock hits 0. And Brien McMahon will celebrate the Holiday Tournament Championship here at Norwalk. They take down their crosstown rivals, the Norwalk Bears, by a final score of 71-46. Huge scoring night from Eric Day again. He picked up 17. Matt St. Louis had 12. Brendan Quinlan Huertas had a big 5. Shaquan Williams with 10 points. A team effort, truly. Our own Kevin Coleman will be joined with a couple of the Senators momentarily. But as we get set for the presentations of the trophies and awards, let's take a quick break, and we'll be right back with final coverage from tonight's game right here on the HAN Network.
My company developed Tranquility Mind and Body Wellness Spa 13 years ago. The building had 2 huge Olympic-sized pools in it. Builders would come, take a look to develop, and no one really knew what to do with it. Milford Bank saw our vision, and they jumped right in. They were the bank that we needed to come behind this hometown project. My name is Tina DeNaples, and I choose to bank with Milford Bank.
Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Why cook it all this holiday? Avoid the stress of holiday planning and let your friends at Walter Stewart's in New Canaan do the heavy lifting. Whether you're looking to fill in with a few crowd-pleasing sides or you want us to prepare your whole feast, from cranberry sauce to pumpkin pie, we're ready to simplify your holiday. Place your order from our holiday menu and spend your holiday the right way, relaxing. Our fresh prepared holiday meals to go are designed with your busy schedule in mind. Visit us at stewartsmarket.com or at 229 Elm Street, New Canaan.
We are back on the HAN Network. We go down now courtside to Kevin Coleman, who is joined with one of the champion Senators. That is number 24, the senior guard, Eric Day. Down to Kevin.
Thank you, Frank. I'm here with Eric Day. Eric, congratulations on the win. Talk about this team's performance today.
I mean, my team, I love my teammates, you know what I mean? Coming to the game, it's a rivalry game. We knew everybody what they were going to do, what we were going to do. We just came in, played as a team, and I love my brothers.
Now you finished the day with 17 points. Talk about your performance and what this chemistry is like on the court with your teammates.
I mean, in the first half, I didn't do too well, you know what I mean? So I just started dishing the ball to my teammates. Second half, my teammates told me come out of the half, we need you to start getting into the groove. So I just let the offense come to me, did it on the defense, and my team stepped up.
Now, winning this championship, I know it's early in the season, but this has to feel good for your team.
I mean, it gives us confidence. We got a lot of young people in this team, so winning this with them is going to boost their confidence up, and that's going to make them play harder each game.
Now, you guys missed the FCI playoffs last year. How good do you guys feel about making it this year?
I mean, it's a new year. We lost a lot of people, but we also had a lot of young talent step up. So I think making it FCI championship, making FCI playoffs this year is a big thing for us.
All right, Eric, thank you very much. Frank, back to you.
Thank you, Kevin, and don't go too far. I think you got another guest coming to join you, as they're actually we're going to steal Matt St. Louis before the press box, and let's go right back down to Kevin, who's joined with the senior captain for the Senators.
All right, thanks. Thanks, Frank. Here with Matt St. Louis, one of the captains of this Brien McMahon Senators team. Talk about your performance today in this Senators team. What's the chemistry like on this team?
Personally, I say our chemistry is really good. We've been getting better every game, and today we just put everything together. We went into the locker room, and we knew that we had something to prove today because we felt like we were the better team, but we didn't like everybody thinking that this was like a close game or something that we had to prove. So we went out to prove that we're the best team in Norwalk.
Going into the locker room up 38-23, what was the message to your team coming back into the half with a big lead like that?
The message we came out with was that they were going to do one or two things. They were just going to lay down or they were going to try to come back. And we just wanted to step on their throats and put it away early, and that's what we did.
Now, I asked Eric, you guys missed the FCI playoffs last year. How good do you feel about this team making it this year?
I feel great. I think we got a great chance to make it, and I think we could really do something.
All right, go enjoy this. I know that trophy is shiny over there. I want you guys to go celebrate. All right, thank you very much. All right, Frank, back to you.
Thank you, Kevin. So congratulations again to Brien McMahon. Cato, a lot of fun to be here today for this tournament. A great atmosphere and truly a tremendous performance by the Senators.
Well, if anybody was wondering whether or not Brien McMahon was here to play, I think they made that point tonight. A team that was just as athletic, but bigger than them, and they handled them relatively easily. They played well off the ball. They worked well down below. They drew fouls, and they did everything they needed to do. And I think they really put the FCX on notice, and everybody in the state, we're coming.
It's a very deep team. They're very humbled, and they're very determined. You can hear that in the interviews we got from them. Coach Dunson, of course, a great job. Thank you to Coach Tom Keys and the Norwalk Bears for hosting us. We look forward to seeing them again throughout the season. Don't sleep on the Bears just yet. They'll be back. They're going to figure this out, and they'll be okay. We can't wait for round 2 of this rivalry on February 7th down the road. Cato, I want to wish you a Happy New Year. I look forward to seeing you again in 2017. That goes for all of our viewers. For Kevin Coleman, our director, A.J. Simonowski, on his last broadcast with us. Don't forget, you've got Coffee Break tomorrow morning. Last broadcast of the year for the HAN Network. I'm Frank Renito. I want to thank everyone again. We will see you next time. The final score, Brien McMahon 71, Norwalk 46. They are the champions of the 2016 Norwalk Holiday Tournament, brought to you right here on the HAN Network.